Today we are diving deep into the engine bays, and we are rolling up our sleeves and pulling out the HF radio. So grab your wrenches and let's get down to business. Sam's in the engine room.
Hello.
Hello.
So what we've got over on the side here is a thing called a battery mate, master vault battery mate. And what they do is they're like an electronic shunt to open up when voltage is there. So this wire here comes from the alternator, goes into the center. Then when it shows that there's charge, it'll open up. This goes to the house bank, or the start bank, which is over in the back corner there. And this goes to our lithium bank. But the way this works is this is designed for charging batteries of the same type. And because we've got gel start batteries, lithium house bank, it'll only open up the shunt and charge to the lowest voltage. And generally speaking, the lowest voltage is our start bank, and the lithium don't get any charge. So what we're doing is we're taking out these battery mates and we're going to replace them with some battery chargers. And that's what we're doing right now. Taking them apart, try not to get zapped. And yeah, labeling everything so we can put it all back together again. The best thing about jobs like this isn't just that you can label it, but with the mobile phones nowadays, you just take a picture. So I've taken a picture of what it looks like, where it all is, and when we go to put the new ones in, we should be able to figure it out from there. Although we do have to change the way these are wired, but yeah.
Hi, we're the James family.
Are you sick of your day-to-day life? Ever thought about doing something different?
Well, we did just that.
We bought an unfinished aluminium catamaran and we're fixing her up as we sail around the world.
Come along for the journey and click subscribe.
Daddy? Mommy? Charlie? James.
Hey guys, so we are leaving the marina very soon and currently getting ready to leave and go off cruising again. Sam is currently down in the engine room and he is swapping battery mates for battery chargers. And while we're in the marina, we thought it'd be a great idea to sell the HF radio. We thought it'd take a long time for sale because it's sort of a niche market, boat things. Anyways, it's sold really fast. Now you and I get to go downstairs and tell Sam that we've got a buyer and they want us to ship it off to Tassie. And we just added one more thing to Sam's plate. So let's head on downstairs. Let's see where he is and let's tell him. Hey, hon. How are ya?
Good.
So the HF radio has sold.
Already?
Yeah. And the person would like us to ship it off to Tassie. And how you going in here?
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah.
You've got time to take out an HF radio and
Yeah, all right. Nothing like a deadline. Perfect. All right. So yeah, as we mentioned before, we removed the battery mates. It seems that Kate is a guru when it comes to marketplace, and so we're selling things really quick. We thought that we would quickly sell them before we leave the marina because it's easier to sell things here than try and come ashore and meet people and stuff like that. But I didn't expect the HF to go straight away because it's a piece of equipment that, you know, is sometimes harder to sell.
So how's it going swapping out the battery mates for the battery charger?
Well, essentially because we're in the marina, we thought let's just list it quickly because it's easier to sell than when you're out on the water, because there's nothing wrong with the battery mates. They just don't suit the system that we have on board. But in hindsight, I should have really come down and had a closer look at the job, because it's not quite as easy as pulling out and plug and play. It's a little bit more in depth than I anticipated. So the way the battery mates worked is they're an electronic shunt, and so what they did is they're like an electronic isolator. So we had one cord coming from the alternator coming up to it, and then one going to the start battery and one to the lithium, and those were the 3 poles on it. And what that meant is, because the engine that had the positive battery to it was also connected to the start and the starter motor and all the electronics of the engine, it always had power to it, but it had, our voltmeter was directly wired to the back of the alternator, so that when it started, that's the first bit of power that came there, and then the power would come through and then get distributed to the other 2. Where the system fell over was the battery mate is only designed for charging batteries of the same voltage. So what it does is it reads the voltage coming in and out of both sides, and it'll divert the power to the lowest voltage. Now, because lithium's 14.2 volts and gel only likes to be 13.8, all the power just went to the gel battery. Now, what we also have in this system is we've got an external regulator, a master fault regulator. I don't know if you can see it in the back there. And that is connected to the house battery as well. So because all the power was diverted to the house battery, then the master volt external regulator would tell the alternator that the battery's full, and the alternator then wouldn't do a lot of charge. And so there wasn't any excess to go to the lithium at all, and the lithium were getting no charge. Now, this system is a brilliant system for when everything was lead acid or everything was gel, whatever system they had before, but because it's 2 different types, it didn't work. So I thought, oh, let's sell it, let's get a battery charger and we'll just throw it in and away we go. And now, because it's set up one way, it's going to take a bit of work to fiddle everything back round. We're going to need a positive and a negative from the lithium coming through to here. We're going to have to rewire the way the engine is, and then take it from there. So one of the things I thought about doing was over here, these here are our linking cables, and so what they do is, if this side is flat, we can then parallel it with the other battery on the other side, and then start this side or start that side, either way we go. So I thought, I already have a positive and negative off the battery. I can go and connect one of the chargers in where the paralleling switch is, put it on either side and just charge it that way. But I figure if I do that, that's going to disrupt the use of these switches, which is a very simple and very handy system to have. And I figured if I run wires and do it all properly now, while we've got the resources in Australia, then we've got redundancies, where that way it's only one system, and if it goes down, the whole lot goes down. This way I've got 2 separate systems. If anything breaks or something goes wrong, I can use one of the battery chargers, temporarily wire it up that way. Anyway, but this job has turned out to be a little bit more than I thought. Running new cables, rewiring the main engine, and yeah, taking it all from there. And I've got to actually investigate a bit further on the positive and negative terminals here. There's actually 4 positive wires coming off the positive side, so I'm going to see what all of that feeds. Figure out how this here is for the voltmeter upstairs, see how I'm going to connect this up so that it'll only work when the engine's turned on, and yeah, take it all from there. Because if I wire it up now and connect the battery up, because the battery's disconnected at the moment, then the voltmeter will always be on now, because it's not running through the isolator, the electronic isolator. But yeah, we'll see how we go.
And now, time to put the tools down and take out the HF radio.
Yeah, I'll come back to this. I don't mind hopping out of here, actually. It's a bit tight.
Dan, what are you up to right now?
I am figuring out how to take the HF out. So this here is the tuner. So we've got this, we've got the power pack for it, and then we've got the actual handset and unit itself all in 3 different places. So I'm just seeing how easy the wires are going to be to pull through, hoping nothing's been made around it where this one has, so that's not going to pull through very easy at all. Yeah, and just seeing how we're going.
How long is this going to take? I might have just sold something else in the marketplace.
Don't you dare.
I'm only joking.
It'll probably take about half a day. And probably a lot of you guys are wondering why we're ripping out the HF. There's nothing wrong with it. It works fine. It's actually a really neat unit that's fully unlocked. So it has extra channels than your standard one in that, because it's for radio enthusiasts as well. But what we found, one of our main motivators is purely cost. We're redoing our rigging, and we're going to be doing our stays with Dyneema. And at our current lower stay, this one in through the window here, is our aerial for the HF. And in order to keep it wire and replace the aerial, we can pay for 2 years of Starlink on the cheaper one. We don't actually know how much it's going to cost us in different countries, but in Australia, under the Australian plan, the coastal plan, what it'll cost us to redo all that is 2 years worth of Starlink. So we decided to get Starlink instead, and the HF is going. So once we start going overseas, we're going to have another layer of protection, some other kind of satellite communications as well. Oh, thank you, darling. That was a bit clumsy. But yeah. Thank you. Yeah, now we're just madly trying to get it all done so we can head on off and get to sea. And, that's not a flathead, that's a starhead, huh?
Oh.
Flatheads are
This one?
flat. Yeah, that's it. You, get away from there.
I'm gonna go outside and see how loud it is. I'm playing with the hailer on the there's a speaker right below the...
Is it working?
Yeah, it is. That is so loud. Okay, now Sam's going outside. Sam to the engine room.
Appetite.
All right.
It works.
It works.
Stand up,
So it works.
Try.
Yeah. Sometimes these jobs, because it's a custom boat, they can be fairly challenging, because in some places the boat's built around these equipment when they're the original ones, or there's been modifications afterwards, or...
Ships all stations, magnetic inbound,
because we bought this from cruisers, that lived on board. They've done heaps of small modifications over the years, and so it's good. Every time we take it apart, we're learning new things about Emma, and yeah, learning how she's wired and all the little bits and pieces. Like at the moment, I have this. It wasn't plugged into anything, and I have no idea what it's for. But we're gonna get to the bottom of it when we run it through and find out what it's connected to. But yeah, and we just found out that we have a loud hailer. So there's a speaker on the mast that I thought was redundant, and it is connected to our VHF and works. So it's fantastic. So yeah, we'll keep exploring and see what else we can figure out. Won't we, Charlie?
Yeah, you are ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The whole marina right now might be like, where's that sound coming from?
It's turned off now.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Press this.
Yeah, you press that. Why she's onto it.
So we've eaten dinner, we're all showered. Charlie is in bed. The sun has gone down. And Sam is still working on that job that he said would take him a half day. How's it going, hun?
Well, I think I've got RSI from probably clipping around about 100 million zip ties. But I think you're right. I think this job has beaten me for today. We'll call it quits and come back tomorrow. Like with some of these jobs, they always get a bit bigger. If you look in here at that, it's our rat's nest of wires. There's a lot of things that say spare on it, so I'm sort of tracing them back, learning where they go. They're running around the boat but not plugged into anything. So he has run some spares for other stuff, which will be handy, because I fear that the boat was built around these cables, which is going to make pulling them out through the next section very, very challenging. So yeah, I think we'll call it quits for today and give it another crack tomorrow. What do you think, hun?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll just close all this up and finish this last one.
Thank you so much for watching. If you are enjoying our videos and would like to help support us making videos and content, consider becoming a Patreon. The link is in the description below. And don't forget to click those like and subscribe buttons, and we will see you all next week.